talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. If she be down the ride, oh, I bet that.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. What's poppin'? Postal family. Everybody good, everybody cool, everybody clean, everybody crisp, everybody irie. Let's talk processing clerks. Do I think a processing clerk is a good job to have? Well, let's talk about processing clerks' duties first, their hours, their pay, and whether or not I think it's worth anybody's headache, whether or not you should apply. First, processing clerk. They work at a plant, not to be confused with distribution clerks, which work at stations. Processing clerks tend to work on machines. You are a robot. You feed robots. You use computers. That's what you do. You're on your feet for long hours of the day. You are bending. You are picking stuff up. You're putting stuff down. You're loading machines with mail, regular letter mail. That's automation, I believe. You also have parts of the the processing clerks that work on these big conveyor belts where they physically have these scanners and they scan some mail by hand. I don't think they touch it, but they do scan it by hand. There are other duties that are involved as well. But overall, the hardest part of this job as a processing clerk is the standing on your feet for long hours of a day. The bending and the lifting tends to be repetitive, and initially it will take a toll on your body. You will feel it. For the first 2 to 3 months, nobody can physically prepare for that. Nobody. Some people will jump right in and be okay, but other people, it is a shock. But this is a standard line style job, as if you're working in a factory. That's pretty much where you're at. Factory workers that build cars, they stand in one spot and then they get the paint and they spray one line and they get another piece and spray one line. So you become part of the machine overall. Your job is definitely necessary because the letter mail that's it. You are the letter mail. And you guys deal with a lot of the express mail as well. You also make a fairly decent salary. Typically, plants that are busy tend to keep the processing clerks when you guys have mail that comes in, is transported in a little bit later. You may be thinking that, okay, well, I'm gonna do my 8 hours and go home, but all of a sudden the truck shows up 5 minutes before you come in. Can you shush? Sheesh. They got no respect with these little toy cars. Sound like, anyway. And then you get called in for extra 2-3 hours of overtime. They are underneath the APWU craft, so if you do go into overtime for 2 hours, you're gonna get overtime per day for 2 hours. And then if you go into the penalty overtime, that's anything after 10 hours of work. So there are plenty of hours if you're in a busy plant. That is a yes. If you're in there to make good money, yes, this is the place to be, because you will make some decent cash. Now, initially, when you get in there, you don't start as career. So they can have you set up for hours. You might get 6 hours for the day. You might get 8 hours for the day, or maybe extremely slow on some days, and they may send you home because you don't have a set schedule. The plant is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 99.9% of the time, there is somebody at that plant, which means when you initially start, you may work every freaking holiday. Don't let that deter you, and let it encourage you, because when you work on a holiday, you get that holiday pay on top of the hours that you actually work. So take that for what it's worth. If you're looking for a steady schedule, again, 24 hours a day, And until you become career, you won't have a set schedule. You may be scheduled to work in the morning for about a month, and the afternoon for a month, and the evening for a month. So it's kind of difficult to balance your life out initially. Does that mean you're gonna miss out on life altogether? No, that doesn't mean that. There's so many young people that do this. There's so many old people. There's somebody from every form of life that works at the plant doing processing clerk work, and they make it work for them. The most difficult part about this is learning how to balance your own life. That's not something that Jay can teach. I don't teach anyway, or even explain, because everybody has different circumstances to their life. It would behoove you to talk to a few people that may be processing clerks. How do you do that, Jay? How do you know? You know what? Every single plant USA has stores that are located around them. There may be gas stations, any food stores. Go there. Go catch one of them in the middle of the night before the shift starts. Hey, you work at the post office? What's up? Hey, what do you do there? I'm a processing clerk. Tell me, what do you do? Tell me what you do. And get the information for yourself. If you plan on making this a long-lasting career, get the information for yourself. I'm just some guy talking to you. But get it from the real deal in your area. Is that plant business? You make decent money? Because nobody ever really wants to tell you how much they make. But, you know, they'll be as honest as possible. I make a lot of money, boy, but woo, those first few years, boy, my body killing me. They'll usually keep it real. And you catch one of the people that are older and they're like, oh, this is the worst place in the world, man. And you say, well, how long you been there? I've been there 32 years, man. It's just getting worse. Well, why are you still there? Then they shut up. That's one of the questions I love to get. Well, why are you still here? It's so bad. Why are you still here? That part. Overall, processing clerks, yes. I would, if I could, I would. I don't need to. But yes, it's definitely one of the better jobs at the plant. With that being said, make your own educated decision with the information that I just shared with you. With that being said, this is JH, and we out.